Something really weird is happening in the whey protein market right now.
We actually got an email saying that there was a shortage
of whey protein.
There is a whey protein shortage.
In India, in the last year itself, the price of raw whey protein has almost doubled. Something that was considered a mere byproduct of cheap production now has a massive demand of its own. And the supply is having a hard time catching up. So how did we get here? Let's investigate. So here's a quick science lesson to start off. Milk is composed of 80% casein and 20% whey. While casein is curdled to make cheese, whey is the remnant byproduct. And this magic yellow solution is filtered and dried to make whey protein powder. So whey production has always gone hand in hand with cheese production. In fact, that's how it was discovered way back in 5500 BCE in a town in Poland. Farmers here would use goat's milk to make cheese. They found that when the milk was treated with acid, it would split into solids and liquids. The solids would go on to become cheese, while a liquid whey would be utilized as a starter for the next day's cheese. It wasn't until way later that its health benefits were realized. Around 400 BCE, Hippocrates, who was deemed as the father of medicine, prescribed whey to his patients for its apparent healing properties. He called it the whey. Much later in the 17th century in England, whey became a really popular drink. In fact, at that time, whey bars opened, which was somewhat similar to today's cafes. They served stuff like whey porridge, whey broth, whey drinks, and even whey butter. They even had whey spas. In the 18th century, a powder called plasmin was being produced in Germany, which was essentially milk albumin. It somewhat resembled today's whey. Around the 19th century, Eugene Sandow, who was also known as the father of bodybuilding, popularized plasmin. Fast forward to the early 20th century. More bodybuilders and the fitness community started placing emphasis on nutrition. The 1990s saw a major increase in protein powders. Whey protein was propelled into the mainstream thanks to a growing interest in fitness because of figures like Arnold Schwarzenegger. So basically, whey protein powder has been around for a while, but something changed dramatically in the last few years. Fitness experienced a boom in the 2020s. With the post-pandemic health scare and a rising trend of gym influencers and short-form fitness content, suddenly everyone wanted to get fit and healthy. Home workout apps, FTS, and YouTube tutorials lowered the barrier to entry and made the fitness space more accessible to people who are otherwise isolated from it. But the biggest catalyst to this fitness boom has been the recent rise of fitness as a third space. Community workouts, run clubs, boot camps, and similar events made fitness not only about just working out and getting healthier, but also now made it a social activity. And then competitive events like High Rocks, Ironman, and Yoda only complemented this. This trend was observed globally, but also to a great extent in India. This wave of fitness naturally also highlighted the importance of diet and nutrition, and particularly the protein deficiency in Indian diets. Number one, more and more Indians now realize that diet needed an upgrade. The demand for protein as a macro went up. People started consuming protein powders as a part of their daily nutrition. Number two, seeing the sudden rise in the demand for protein, brands obviously started jumping on this bandwagon. Like, you can't tell me Twix is now making protein powder for the love of the game. This surge in protein products caused an increase in demand for a certain raw material. Guess what? Whey protein. But that's not it. There was now suddenly a third factor. Sometime around 2022, GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic gained global popularity as weight loss drugs. And fun fact, people taking GLP-1 and similar medications are often advised to increase their protein consumption to help preserve muscle mass while losing weight. You see where this is going. Okay, the title isn't super accurate. So the demand for whey protein is increasing and the supply isn't able to catch up fast enough. Naturally, the price of whey protein inflated exponentially. And that is the reason why whey protein is draining your bank account. Now, I don't really see the protein trend dying in the foreseeable future. So one of three things can happen from here. Scenario number one, things stay as they are and you keep paying a premium for whey. Scenario number two, the supply catches up with the demand and prices stabilize. Scenario 3, the demand switches to an alternate protein source such as yeast protein or plant protein. We're already seeing this at some level, with many new and old protein brands coming up with their own yeast and plant protein powders. Although historically considered inferior to whey because of its low bioavailability, plant protein is really having its moment right now. Now, I think the real life situation will be somewhere between scenario 2 and scenario 3. I think we're going to see some of the demand shift to yeast and plant protein, something that is already happening. And I also think the factors of production of whey protein will evolve enough to catch up with the increasing demand. Whatever happens, one good thing may come out of this. There'll be a lot of cheese. A ton of cheese. What do you think is going to happen? Tell me in the comments.